Hello and welcome. Let us discuss this question that came in the year 2016 and is related to the topic environmental organizations. The question is, consider the following pairs, terms sometimes seen in the news and their origin. Number 1, Annex-1 countries related to Cartagena Protocol. Number 2, certified emission reduction related to Nagoya Protocol. And number 3, clean development mechanism related to Kyoto Protocol. Now let us see these protocols first and then we will discuss this Annex-1 countries, certified emission reduction and clean development mechanism. As far as Cartagena Protocol is concerned, Cartagena Protocol was adopted in the year 2000 and came into force in the year 2003. This falls under UNCBD, United Nations Convention on Biodiversity. This deals with the safe transfer of living modified organisms. So for example, the genetically modified organisms or living modified organisms are transferred from one country to another. So there should be safe handling and transfer of this living modified organisms. Similarly, if we see Nagoya Protocol, then Nagoya Protocol also falls under UNCBD. This was adopted in the year 2010 because in COP10 that was held in Nagoya, this Nagoya Protocol was adopted, which talks about fair and equitable distribution, distribution of resources, especially genetic resources, and also talks about access to benefit sharing, ABS or access to benefit sharing. In this, the traditional knowledge that is related to the genetic species, they are transferred and the uses of this species are accessible, as well as there is fair and equitable distribution of resources. So Nagoya Protocol deals with this. This also falls under CBD only, both Nagoya and Cartagena. As far as Kyoto Protocol is concerned, Kyoto Protocol was signed in the year or adopted in the year 1997 and is under United Nations Framework for Climate Change, Framework Convention for Climate Change, that is UNFCCC. This deals with reduction of CO2 and GHG emissions, greenhouse gas emissions. So it focuses on the reduction of carbon dioxide and greenhouse gas emissions to deal with climate or global warming. This UNFCCC talks about, this Kyoto Protocol talks about two types of countries that are listed in Annex-1 and countries that are in Annex-2. Here, developed and transition countries are there, developed countries and countries in transition in Annex-1. Countries in transition are basically those countries that are in developing stage. So they are going to be developed in future. And Annex-2 talks about developed countries that are helping the transitioning countries as far as the budget or economy is required to gain reduction in carbon dioxide and global greenhouse gas emissions reduction. So these developed countries, they do funding to least developed countries or countries in transition. So there are two annexures mentioned in this Kyoto Protocol. Same Kyoto Protocol talks about clean development mechanism as well. As far as clean development mechanism is concerned, clean development mechanism focuses on certified emissions reductions, certified emission CER credits, certified emission reduction credits. What happens if suppose there are two countries? Let us see the example here. So suppose one USA is there, and let's take India as developing country, USA as developed countries. Now in USA, the target of reduction is suppose 1 million ton of CO2 should be reduced to attain reduction in global warming. And in India, similarly, the target is suppose 1000 tons of CO2. 1000 tons of CO2. Now in India, if this is the target and we are only using 800 tons of CO2 as far as development is concerned, or we are emitting only 800 tons of CO2. So we have space for 200 tons of CO2, right? Because this is our target, so we can produce 200 tons of CO2 or use 200 tons of CO2. Now as far as US is concerned, instead of 1 million ton, they are emitting 1.2 million ton. So they are negative, they are positive, right? So for this 200 million tons, they can issue credits, and developed countries like USA can take credit from developing countries like India to meet their 1 million ton target. So they will pay in dollars or they will pay in cash in terms of credit, in exchange of credits. So this is basically clean development mechanism. So this certified emission reduction targets or credits and clean development mechanism CDM is both related to Kyoto Protocol, whereas Carter and Annex-1 countries is also, these all three are related to Kyoto Protocol only. So both 1 and 2 are incorrect, because Cartagena Protocol is related to living modified organisms and this is related to access and benefit sharing and fair and equitable sharing of resources. Both are related to CBD, that is Convention on Biodiversity. This is related to UNFCCC, that is United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, and all three are legally binding treaties. Legally binding protocols. So our answer for this question will be C3 only, that is clean development mechanism is correctly matched with Kyoto Protocol. Thank you.